Welcome to Chrome Brand Pulse, which basically tells you the pulse. The name itself is self-explanatory. The pulse of a brand or an industry or a product, as in what works in making a brand, product or an industry click. And that's exactly what Chrome Brand Pulse is. So hi Mona, my colleague, she heads Chrome Brand Pulse.
Hi Pankaj.
Good to see you again. Not that we don't get to see less of you, we get to see you every day.
As always.
So, having said that, we're talking about home improvement products, so which could also be household care.
Yes.
You wrapped up a project, a beautiful project. Kudos, heard good things about it for Grundfos, a Danish company, right? So what they basically do is they make pressure pumps. So if you're aware of what a pressure pump is, if you're not, then basically you've got a water tank, an overhead tank at your house, and that by the force of gravity, the water comes in the washroom, the kitchen, and henceforth. But sometimes the pressure is low. If you don't have a high altitude building, if you're staying in a single story, or the pipes are not 1 inch, 1.5 inch, they've got a low dia, maybe half an inch, then the pressure tends to drop by the time it reaches the washrooms. So what you do is you get a pressure pump, which gets installed outside the washroom, and it adds pressure to make sure that you get this nice stream of a shower or whatever you may want to use. So that's basically a pressure pump, not a very expensive product. It's a decent market water pump. I would believe $2 billion, Mana?
Yep.
Yeah.
In our country.
In our country, that's almost 18,000 crores. That's all water pumps, residential. That's the size of the market, which is slated to go 2x by 2030. That's how the market is expanding to about 4 billion. So that should touch about 36,000 crores. But to give it a perspective, that's 36,000 crores is pretty much half the size of the linear television industry. That's about 70,000 crores. So water pumps alone would be about half of the entire television industry. So that's how small or big different industries are. So something about the product. What was the project about, Mana?
So essentially, Grundfos was was launching. I think they already launched now. This was about 3 months ago, and so they were launching, and they wanted to actually have a celebrity, as a brand ambassador for themselves. And they were very, very clear that they wanted cricketers, and they wanted. So they gave us name of about 7-8 cricketers, and they said, can you kind of really match them to attributes or the positioning of the brand? So therefore, there is synergy between the brand and the personality of the celebrity that they were going to assign as ambassador. So that really was essentially the project. Yeah.
Very nice. So it's basically research is a function of. It's not about only being known. It's the perception of a celebrity, it's the brand image of a celebrity, and does that align with the parameters of the pump? So what are the pump parameters, and like what kind of...
So the way they positioned themselves globally, and that's how they wanted themselves to be seen in India, was first of all very, very importantly on reliability. That's the kind of product it is. Trusting the brand, because there's a lot of competition around. They wanted to, and they were coming new in the country, and they already had some legacy players, very dominant. So they wanted to kind of be seen as a trusted brand. Also, the celebrity should be real. It should be like probable. They should be able to associate themselves with a home improvement category. So it should not look like
So can you know the names the projects done? We don't have Indians.
Yeah. So there was Rahul Dravid, of course. Then Mr. Dhoni. Then you had Neeraj Chopra.
Oh, nice.
He wasn't the cricketer. He was the outsider. He was only the outlier there.
Yeah.
Then you had Yashasvi Jaiswal.
Yeah.
And Surya Kumar Yadav.
Yeah.
Shreyas Iyer. So these were the few ones that they were there.
But they're all about performance.
They all meet
performance.
Very strong performers, and they're at the top of the game.
Yeah. And Dhoni, in my view, be more of reliability. He's been there for a long time.
Yeah.
Right? So that's my perception. So I
won't give it away what the research was.
Yeah. So not that I've seen the results, but so it's about associating the image of a celeb with the product, and let's see how this pans out. So you want to share more on the results?
Yeah. So for example, it's one thing that I spoke about was on trust and reliability. So that's a no-brainer. So Rahul stood out at 40% of people voted on trust and reliability.
Nice.
Voted. Neeraj Chopra came in at 30%. So there was a gap over 10 points.
And that could be a function of age as well, right?
That could function of age as well, right? Yeah. Rahul always has been perceived as a reliable, solid, dependable person. So I think that probably had spilled over to people's responses.
Yes.
But one thing was coming very clearly was that Delhiites love Neeraj Chopra.
Oh yeah.
So most of the skew of the Mr. Chopra. so his on all the parameters that we kind of really assessed, and we found Neeraj Chopra was standing out in Delhi very, very clearly. Right. And Rahul Dravid obviously, but he was cutting across all the markets. But
so can we if you understand, do we have an NDA, or we can give out the name of the guy who did it, or?
Sorry?
Can we give out the name of the guy we recommended? And
So
he's
no,
actually doing
we
it, or-
didn't recommend anybody. What the consumer recommended is what we
Right.
kind of we
From
finally
the
get
research, yeah.
from the research. So obviously Rahul Dravid, came on the final score because we assessed them on reliability, trust. Also popularity was very important for them. How popular and how well
Yeah.
known and visible they were. Again, Rahul Dravid, but at that particular point, Neeraj Chopra and Rahul Dravid stood, on a tie. It's 20% what they got.
Yeah.
Plus everybody got about 15, 17, 18%. Then this the third one, which was very, very strong contender also was Jaiswal.
Yes,
He
sir.
was coming through very well, and especially in the Gujarat market, MP market, he was very, very popular. And so that's
Yeah,
really
so
it.
nice.
Yeah.
So one other factor which I would believe would be very important is topicality, right? So a brand endorser, or I don't know what the right word is, but a celeb who's endorsing a brand should not be in the midst of controversy,
Yes.
clean image.
I think they chose the people also accordingly.
Yeah.
I think they had done their due diligence to ensure that people that they were selecting or keeping
Yeah.
as an option for brand ambassador had a clean image.
Yeah.
They were anywhere in between of any controversy.
Yes, and popularity is also a hugely dynamic function, right?
Yeah.
So you're popular today, you're not popular tomorrow.
Yeah.
You are popular today.
Yeah,
Right,
maybe not
so-
tomorrow. Yeah.
So just kidding.
yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I think very important research. Mona, I leave it to you, but my concluding
But I want to
remarks-
share one more point.
Yes.
I found it very interesting. So one of the question was, which celebrity you think is intelligent and makes smart decisions in life and his professional life? So again, 42%. That was a very highly skewed number for Rahul Dravid.
Oh, Rahul Dravid,
Yes,
because he
yes.
comes across as
Who
serious.
makes good decisions, smart decisions, both in his professional and personal life. So
Very
extremely
nice.
balanced. That came in very, very strong for him. And Jaiswal got a good number too, voted in Gujarat. 34% of the people in Gujarat voted for him, saying that they
Yeah.
felt that he was a smart guy.
Awesome. So this I'm assuming is from our pool of 3.6 lakh respondents.
Yes.
It's a subset of that
It's a
across
subset
the country.
across the country.
And the fact that you could turn around more than 10,000 responses in a day or two is all a function
Yeah,
of
it
what
was a
Chrome-
very short span study. We had to really kind of deliver in very, very short time.
Brilliant. So
Yeah.
good. So we're going to meet soon on Brand Pulse round 3 on another brand, product or industry. Research is integral to driving businesses towards making business decisions. What might sound obvious to me or to you might be completely different when you do research and you figure out that what the consumer looks at is completely something else. So we do advise lots of dipsticks,
Yeah.
DIs, group discussions to try and figure out what's really working in the market or not. But what's more important, research is good when it's implementable. And implementable, it needs to be timely and actionable, right? So that's what you do at Brand Pulse?
Absolutely. And many a times, when I also get a project, my first, I do a hypothesis, obviously. So yes,
Yeah.
this is where the results will really pan out.
Yeah.
But I'm always pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
The number that I think probably would be the one really is very different to what probably I get a throwback from the market.
Absolutely. That's the beauty of research. If we all agreed, then one of us is not needed, right? So that's research and the consumer.
Yes.
Thank you, Mona.
Thank you. Thank you,
guys.
Pankaj.
Thanks.